Hey 8th graders, today's assignment is 1.6 chemical reactions. Your learning targets for today, I can use properties to identify substances. So in this lesson we're really going to get into the underlying phenomena of this unit, which we're going to focus on a little bit because it's kind of fun playing the detective and figuring out what an unknown substance is. Okay, so moving on to our first activity of the day, which of course is your notebook. You guys need to open up your OneNote and then add key concepts 3 and 4 to your key concepts page. Notice that we skipped key concept number 2. So key concept number 3, substances have different properties because they are made of different groups of atoms. These groups vary in the type or number of atoms that make up the group, and you guys will also see that how those atoms are arranged also can give different properties. For instance, when we looked at the article that we read, the atomic zoom in, you guys learned about the chemical that gives orange juice its good smell versus the chemical that gives socks its stinky smell. They're the same groups, the same number and groups of atoms. They're just arranged differently, and that gives it a completely different odor. And then finally, groups of atoms repeat to make up a substance. So especially if we're looking at a solid substance or any substance that we can tangibly see, we have a lot of atoms forming together to make that. And even with air, we have a lot of molecules doing the same thing, but because they're so spread out, we can't see them. All right, let's look at your warm-up that you guys should have completed today. So as you need, pause this video to complete these things. So if you haven't already, pause and complete your warm-up. So what you guys see is below are the atomic scale models of 2 different substances. Use the terms in the word bank to label these molecules or these models. So this goes back to what you guys learned yesterday in class. So if you need to, jump back into 1.5 and use that information to help you guys label these. You guys also added this information to your notes. So we have atom, repeating atom group, extended structure, and molecules, and then you guys can see the 4 blanks for those 4 words. So click and drag them to where you think they need to go. Okay. All right, moving on. You guys have a little video to watch on the next page. That again is the problem with our water source that you see here. So you guys will need to right click and open that link up, and then you guys will get a little video from Amplify that talks about what these scientists do to help keep water clean, and it starts to talk a little bit
more efficiently.
Oops, sorry.
Your work goals easier.
Okay, so once you guys skip the ad, you guys will go into the video talking about what these chemical scientists do to keep water safe, and then it starts to talk about the issues with the water wells that we see in this town of Westfield. We're going to call it Westchester just for fun. Okay? All right, so here's a picture that describes what you guys see in that image. So make sure you guys watch the video first, pause as you need, and then let's take a look at this image here. So the residents of Westchester found a reddish-brown substance coming out of the water pipe. So they turned on their water, and the water was kind of a reddish-brown color. Okay, what we know is that this is the water source for the town of Westchester. And then we have this nearby farm that obviously uses fertilizer. And then you guys can see here's the pump, the pipes that lead to all the houses. And what they did is took a sample of the water from the well. And the well itself did not have the reddish brown substance. So this well water right here was normal water. Okay, she did not find the reddish brown substance in the sample. However, she did find fertilizer. So there was fertilizer in this water, but the reddish brown substances came from the faucets in each of these houses. Okay, so last week I received a call from Alexa Anderson, a resident of Westchester. When she returned on her faucet for a glass of water, a strange reddish brown substance came out. She called a few of her neighbors and found out that the reddish brown substance was coming out of their water pipes too. My lab uses chemistry to identify unknown substances, so I went to Westfield to take some samples. I took a sample of the water coming out of the pipes and another sample from the well where the neighbor's water comes from. I analyzed the samples and made an interesting discovery. The water coming out of the pipes contained a mysterious reddish-brown substance, but I didn't find any of the reddish-brown substance in the water sample that I took from the well. However, I did find something else. It appears that some fertilizer from a nearby farm seeped into the water in the well. We need more analysis in order to identify the reddish-brown substance, yet unfortunately my lab is busy with other projects right now, so why wouldn't we call in a group of 8th graders who at this point know not a whole lot about chemistry to help us. So student chemists, we need your help to get the bottom of this mystery. The residents of Westfield need answers. Okay? All right, so here's the problem, and we think it could be one of three things that's happening. The reddish-brown substance is the same as the substance that makes up the pipe. So obviously we didn't find this reddish-brown substance in the well. That means it has to be coming from the pipes. Okay, claim 2, the reddish-brown substance is the same substance as the fertilizer. So even though it maybe looked differently in the well, the fertilizer and the reddish-brown substance are the same. Or claim 3, the reddish-brown substance is not the same as either the fertilizer or the substance that makes up the pipe. So it's coming from somewhere else. Okay, so look at those claims again and choose one you guys think might be the best. And then answer this question: why do different substances have different properties? So we're going to look at those. Obviously, we're going to be looking at 3 different substances: the fertilizer, the pipe material, and the reddish-brown unknown substance. So why do different substances have different properties? Use at least 2 of these words in your explanation. So atoms, model, property, and substance. Okay, and then moving on, you guys are going to do some observations. So if you're in class, you guys are going to be having these substances given to you guys, and you're going to be using a magnifying glass to look at them. But obviously, most of you guys are doing this at home, so this is DLI. So you guys have these picture links that you guys can right-click. There's 2 for each substance you're supposed to analyze. So if you guys open them up, you guys can see a kind of a further away shot of the substances. Being crazy here. Okay, so this was there we go. All right, so you guys can see like a far away one, and then the next link I show you guys is a zoomed in with the little magnifying glass. It's not super clear compared to the other one, but it's something, and it's going to take forever to load as well. So you guys can see this is a zoomed in on that substance a little bit more. So what did you observe about the sample of the pipe substance? So these were scraped directly out of the pipe. List all the physical properties you notice. Make good observations. So what you guys will notice for all 3 of these substances is even though they came from water samples, we dehydrated the water out of them, so they're all solid substances at this point. Okay, so look at those 2, and then what did you observe about the sample of the pipe substance? List all the physical properties you notice. So make sure you guys make really good observations here. Okay, next one you guys will look at the fertilizer. Again, you have your 2 images here. Make good observations. List all the properties that you can. And then finally, the unknown reddish-brown substance that was found in the water. Remember that we did dehydrate this, so you're just looking about the red substance or the reddish-brown substance, no water in it. So again, here's your 2 links to those. Okay, finally, you guys are gonna, so once you guys have done that, again, make sure you guys complete that before you move on to the next section. Okay, so what we have seen then is that we found out using some chemical analysis that this pipe is a repeating atom, which is iron. Okay, so we have a bunch of iron atoms that come together to form that solid pipe. Okay, and that was what the substance was in the pipe. Over here we have sodium nitrate. So you guys can see the sodium and then 1 nitrogen and 3 oxygens, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is the fertilizer. That's the white substance you guys saw. And then the unknown reddish-brown substance is actually this iron oxide. So you can see 2 irons, Fe2, and 3 oxygens, O3. Okay, you guys can see your atom key there if you haven't figured it out already. Iron, sodium, nitrogen, and oxygen. Okay, so with that being said, that now that we have a little bit better idea using some chemical assays of what each of these substances are, we can start to look at where this reddish-brown substance may have come from. So let's revisit our 3 claims. Claim 1, the reddish-brown substance is the same as the substance that makes up the pipes. Claim 2, the reddish-brown substance is the same as the fertilizer. Or claim 3, the reddish-brown substance is not the same as either the fertilizer or the substance that makes up the pipes. So you guys are going to use your draw tool to circle which one you guys think fits it best. At this point, you guys should be able to use some process of elimination and some good explanation as to why some of these claims are not correct. Okay, so think about what might be right, and you know, if you maybe don't agree with all of them, but you guys have a different insight, let me know what that is. Okay. All right, so what you guys will do then is identifying the reddish-brown substance, writing to the people of Westfield. So based on those 3 claims and what you guys have observed with your properties that you just wrote down, and then looking at the actual chemical makeup of those substances, you guys are going to write to the people of Westfield to let them know what you think that substance might be or where it might be coming from. So Dr. Young wants you to explain what the reddish-brown substance is to the people of Westchester. As you write your argument, remember to state your claim. So you're going to tell me which claim you start off with. That should be the very first sentences. I think the reddish-brown substance is, okay? Use evidence from both your observations and the atomic scale models to support your claim. So make sure you guys give me some specific detail as to why you guys think that claim is correct or why the other ones aren't correct. And include the vocabulary words listed. So we really haven't had too many, but it would be good to talk about properties, atoms, and probably substances. Okay, and then chapter 1 question, what is the reddish brown substance? So here's just a recap of those 3 claims. Okay, write your argument right here. Here's those word bank words if you guys need them. And then you guys should write a good couple sentences here, probably at least 1 for your claim, 2 or 3 for your explaining evidence, and then sum that up again as to why you think your claim is correct. So at least 4 or 5 sentences here. And then finally, do your wrap up for today. If you have any questions, write them below. 4, 3, 2, 1, how do you think you did? And you guys are all done. Go ahead and hand it in, and I hope you're having a great day. Thanks. Bye.